Right, can you hear me now if I take out my microphone? I'll give you a minute. I'll just pop my phone charger back in just in case the battery decides to die. Okay, I've had some thumbs up and now I've had some, I can't hear you, but I'm doing a Joe now because I know the comments take a little while to come through, so I have to give you a minute. And right, I've got some that's better. I've got a Foilables, yes, okay. Not that I don't believe anybody else. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, Joe, I thought we've jinxed it with what we've been talking about. Oh dear. Right, okay, I'm going to move my computer. Not sure I'm going to be able to put it actually. I want to be able to see it because it's good to be able to see what you can see. Okay, so going to do some cards with some foilables tonight. Going to show you, I think I've got, I don't know, half a dozen cards, but I'm going to make a couple of them. And yeah, I hope you're going to enjoy it. I'm sure you will. Just wanted to run through, while I remember, that the Christmas Joy collection is available from... Now, Patsy, you've got me worried because you're saying you can't hear me still, but everyone else seems to think that they can. Okay. Christmas Joy collection is available from Paul and Hazel at Dragon's Papercraft. It's available from Wow Embossing Powder. It's available from Kate at the Mulberry Bush, Joe and Mark at Let's Create, Maxine at Maximum Crafts, Julie and Barry at Craft Bliss, from Barry at Hickey Soft, from Penny and Jane at The Art of Craft, from Jeanette at J Craft in Australia, and it is also available from Simon Says Stamp now in America. And we have made Marion's video that she's done, her YouTube video, we've made it live. So Marion has done 4 fabulous, quick, easy Christmas cards, but really clever techniques. So if you haven't watched it, there is a link on the page over to the video, but really good to go and have a look at that. She got me all inspired, and it's like I've been making backgrounds, I've got tape out, it's like I've been doing all sorts. So thank you, Marion. And I also want to remind you, I know Philippa will post tomorrow, but we've got Tracy tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and Tracy's going to be making those lovely gift card wallets. So if you're going to give money or gift cards, really great ideas to do that. And then on Tuesday at 10 we've got Philippa with the pop-up box card, which is incredible that it just goes flat to go in an envelope. Then on Wednesday at 7:30 we've got Hazel making a beautiful tag card in her signature inky style. And then on Thursday we have Jo Shannon at 7:30, and Jo is doing her first live for me, so we need to be kind to Jo as well. The other Jo, another Jo. And then obviously we won't be launching Marion's video on Friday because it's already launched. So if I have time I will do a live on Friday, but we will see, because there's something every day this week anyway, so that's lovely. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera now I've done all that bit and we'll get on, so bear with me. Okay, so you can look at my ink pads. Oops, got my lead underneath my laminator. Let's move that so we get this in position. Whoops. Bear with me a minute. Right, that looks a bit better. Turn my light. Okay, let's just tuck my lead up there so that it doesn't get in the picture. So I hope that's looking okay. Now my computer's decided, I don't like this. Come on. Okay, and now it does a different picture, so I can't see the comments. I don't want it full screen. Right, okay, that's better. Okay, I do like to be able to see the comments, even if they're going up too quickly for me to be able to read them. So I should say good evening as well, and thank you all for joining me. Yeah, so on this Sunday evening. Okay, so I thought first of all I would just show you what comes in a pack of Christmas Joy foilables. So there are 68 pieces in this pack. We have some big tags. We have some beautiful poinsettias. We have poinsettias and foliage. We have holly. We have some of the square designs in different sizes. We have a joy. Got a couple of those. Got some tags. Got those in different sizes. I thought we had 3. That worried me a little bit. There's 3 poinsettias. You get a couple of the Christmases and a couple of the big happies as well, so you can do some lovely big sentiments. You've got some squares with poinsettias, some squares with holly. We've got little miniature poinsettias. We've got may your heart be filled with joy. Then we've got some little poinsettias, got lots of little happy Christmases. So I would probably be foiling all of these in golds and silvers, reds and greens, whatever colours I was going to do for Christmas. Have you seen that beautiful card that Philippa has made with in the pinks? So pretty. So lots of different sizes in all the different designs. Got quite a few different sentiments in here. Got some nice happy Christmases. So joy this Christmas time. We've got joy to the world. Got nice happy Christmas. Wishing you a wonderful Christmas. Sending you peaceful Christmas wishes. Another wishing you a wonderful Christmas. Another square. Have a magical Christmas. Like I say, lots of happy Christmas. So I would do these and foil them in gold, silvers and some colours if you've got a certain Christmas colours that you want to do. And then you've got them ready to go. Just add them to a card. And they don't have to be added to Foilables cards. It's been lovely to see the mix of Foilables with stamps as well. So that is your set of 68 that you're getting in your pack. So let me pop that out of the way. I am running out of space in this room already. I need to get sorted. Okay, so what I've done for my cards is I've used a lot of embossed backgrounds. So I've used embossing folders, really clean and simple, very Julie style. And I have foiled this one in green. So I've used the Wow Fab Foils. So let me just move these because I've got some bits and pieces done. So they are the Wow Fab Foils. They come in, I don't know, it's about 24 different colours. And this is the green from the set. So it just gives it a really nice finish. And it works really well. Like when you colour and everything, it looks lovely. It doesn't matter that the green is around the edge of the poinsettia because it still looks lovely and red. So that was one. And then I've got this one where I've used, again, another embossing folder. There you go, you can see it now. Just as a square in the background, I've also embossed around the square using my scoreboard. I don't know if it's picking that up or not. Can't see. I hope it is, but there's a embossed line around the edge. And this time I use silver. So I've used Joy to the World and a couple of the hollies, curled and shaped them, just so they look a bit more dimensional. Then this one, I've used one of the memory box embossing folders, which is one of the, this is a memory box one as well. That was a really thick 3D one. But then also I've done some lines down the edge of my card. So this is a really nice way just to add a bit of interest to your card without having to do too much. So again, just put it in my scoreboard and scored. And yeah, was really pleased with that. And this one I foiled in gold. Added a little bit of blue around the edge. I used my clean colour pens to colour them in. So water-based pens, clean colour. When we were talking about foilables, we decided that if you were using alcohol ink or alcohol markers, you should colour and then foil. if you use water-based markers like I have, you are actually okay to foil and then colour, or you can colour and then foil. It really doesn't matter. So then I've got another one where I've edged it with blue, and this time I've used red foil on my foilables, and I've used gold on the big one, but the joy is done in red, and this Christmas time is done in red. And I've just inked with a little bit of blue and then done the same inking around my layer behind, just to set it off on my card. So just something a little bit different. You're not going to quite see all of that, are you? Okay, let's move them up a little bit. Squish it in down the bottom. Then this is one I'm going to make, but I'm going to change it though. I'm going to do a tag this time, but I'm going to use a bit of vellum. I'm going to use some embossed panel. Look how lovely that Happy Christmas looks. And I did the poinsettias red, and I was so chuffed with them with the red foil. I think they look beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then so I'm going to make that one, and I'm going to make something like this as well, but I am going to do a square because I've got this one ready. This one I've done in gold. I'm going to do a silver version, and I've done a bit of torn vellum over half of my embossing. So just a really nice way, adding a little bit of interest to your card without doing too much, really. Thank you, Brian. I've just seen that you said my colouring was beautiful. Okay, so they were my cards that I made. And I'm going to do in fact, I'm going to do, I do 2 or 3. We'll see how we get on. So I'm going to start off with this one. Let's put these to one side. I'm actually going to put them there so then that horrible mat doesn't show. Okay, so I'm actually going to use the glitter gold for the fab foil. I'm going to use my big Happy Christmas, and I'm going to use this beautiful tag. And I have a panel that I've already embossed. So these are just old embossing folders that I've had for a long time. I absolutely love this one. You want something that's just generic. I know I've got a dotty one, which was Mum's. I've got one that looks like snow. So they'd all be absolutely perfect for this. And then I have a piece of 18 by 24 that I've scored at 12. So it gives me a card that will fit a 5 by 7 envelope. So first of all, before I forget, I am going to cut this down because the embossing doesn't go right to the edge. So I wish they would make embossing folders just a bit bigger. So I'm going to cut this down so that I have embossing all the way up to the edge of my panel. And on my card, I put this on my card with foam pads. Now you could do it with foam pads. You could use cardboard like Philippa and Brian do. Absolutely perfect. Cardboard would be really good because it would give you that layer all the way over your card. But like I explained, I'm trying to use my foam pads up, and then I'm going to change to cardboard, I promise. So I'm not going to put this on yet because I want to wrap my vellum around my card. So I've got my card and I've got my panel. So next up, I'm going to put my laminator, which has got hot, off and cold. So I'm going to put it onto hot, and I can feel it whirring, so it's warming up. And then I have my piece of copy paper ready, and I'm going to cut a piece of gold foil, and this is the glitter gold from Wow. And I'm going to cut a piece that is big enough to do my tag and my Happy Christmas. So I think, where's my scissors? I did read somewhere the other day that somebody used big scissors, and I thought that's a really smart move for cutting foil with big scissors. But they're all down in my cabin, so I'm sorry. I'm using little scissors. But never mind, it was fine. But it is easier. The bigger the blade that you're cutting the foil with, the easier. When you put your foil away, do be careful with them. I shouldn't have let it get creases like this, because this will mark on your foilable. but we'll be able to get round it. So while that's heating up, I'm going to place my foil down and put my wording on, make sure I've got everything lined up. You will get a mark where that line is in the foil on your foilable, but if anything doesn't come out, we can put it through again so that we get rid of it. Okay, so yes, it's warming up. It hasn't gone green. My little light will go green when it's ready for me to go. So I'll just give it a few more minutes. Okay, I'm just going to have a look. I know that Philippa's watching. I know that Joe was watching. So I know that anybody will answer any questions. So that's fabulous. Okay, I'm sure I've gone back a little bit, but there's nothing there at the moment. Okay, so my button's gone green, so I'm ready. So it doesn't matter if you have foil side up, foil side down, as long as you put the folded edge through the laminator first. So this is a hot foil laminator. I know that Patsy was saying in the week that she's been having trouble with hers. I only use photocopy paper because mine doesn't get that hot, but I think if yours gets too hot, I would try with a lightweight card, maybe something like about 120 GSM card, and just try putting your foilables through in there, and then hopefully it won't overheat them. So just let it run all its way through. It doesn't matter which way up you have it. Oh, I've got some air bubbles there. It might not have come out properly. That's interesting. I've never seen it do that before. It could be because there's nothing to stick to there. We will see. So when we take our Christmas off, I'll see our line isn't going to show because it's sparkly as well. Doesn't that look beautiful? And I have a top tip coming for you. It will be in a few days, well no, probably next week. But I have a great tip of showing you how to use up all the little bits. So see these bits that are in between, let's use the white paper. See these little bits here? I've got a great technique to show you of how to use all those bits up, so you'll actually end up with clear plastic. So it's a brilliant way to use all those bits and pieces up. But I'm waiting for something to come so I can show you properly. Look at that. Oh wow. How fab is that? Isn't that beautiful? It just blows me away every time that I put something I drew through the laminator with a bit of foil, and just look at it now. That is just awesome. I love it. Sorry. Right, I'm going to put that in my spares because now I have this top tip of how to use it. I'm going to turn my machine off because I'm going to make the card, and it doesn't take long to warm up, so I'd rather it was not too hot. Okay, let's put that to one side. But how beautiful does that look? And now we can start to colour. I'm going to put that card there so it gets rid of that horrible light. Okay, so I did see a question coming up. I know we do need more glitter foils. You're absolutely right. I saw Patsy say something. Have it sus now. Oh, brilliant. I'm glad you've sorted it. That's fantastic, Patsy. Okay, so I'm going to have a red and a green. Probably have a little bit of pale blue. And I will have my water brush. Because even though it's onto the foilable, I can do my watercolouring if I want to. So I like to put a bit of colour down the middle, and I would only do a little bit at a time. The foil is going to act like a resist, so I don't have to worry about being too, well, you want to be quite careful, but you don't have to worry too much because it does act like a resist. Now I can use my water brush and just move that colour around, and now I've got those deeper bits along the veins and around the edge, and I have the paler colour into the centre of my holly leaf. So I just go around the edge and down the veins, down the middle, and then just use my water brush just to move that colour around. And that gives me the variation in the colour without having to do very much work at all. And don't we love it when it's like that? Oh, but Virginia, they do so many. I love the gold, I have to say, but the silver, the blues, let me show you a few. I think I have most of them because, wow, we're very generous. Okay, so some of the colours. There is a plain gold. There is a beautiful rose gold. Oh, that's not plain gold. Sorry, that's a glitter gold. There is a beautiful rose gold. There is a lovely red. There's a lovely green as well. I just had it a minute ago. There's a gorgeous Christmas green. There is beautiful blush, which is a lovely pink. I love it because they actually have several colours. So this is a violet, and then they have dark blue, but those two together, you get a difference in the colours. And then we've got teal, of course, because of Marion. And then there's, this one is ice blue, which is lovely. So you could do those three blues together, and how lovely would they look? Then we have, oh, there's the gorgeous spearmint, which is a really lovely green. Very different from the traditional Christmas green. But again, use those two together. Imagine doing some, just in the florally ones, just some leaves in those two different colours would be absolutely stunning. There's a lovely deep purple as well. So to go with the violet, which I've got in the packet round the wrong way, but there's a deep purple. There's a hot pink, of course. There is a white as well, which I still haven't used, but I would imagine that would be lovely. There's a turquoise. So we've got, is that 4 blues now? Or did I have turquoise? No, there's ice blue, teal, and that deeper blue as well. Wow, how lovely, 4 blues. So you've got some absolutely fantastic colours there. So if you don't like gold, there is definitely some there in the foilables. Okay, so back to my colouring, sorry. I don't know why, but I do like to do my leaves first. So I like to get those done. Maybe it's because I like to do those bits and then I can do all the pretty bits. Okay, so then just using my brush just to move that colour around. And then the same down in the veins. I do like to do just around the edge because you can make that bleed in then. And the colours do blend still quite nicely, not quite as well as they do like on Super Smooth or anything like that, but it is different card that the foilables are printed onto, but they will still blend. So it does mean that you can do that sort of technique with it. They are lovely to do if you want to colour them with your ink pads and a water brush. You can do that quite easily. I know Philippa likes to use alcohol markers on hers. I've done them just spritzing over the top with sprays. I've done them with watercolour pencils. So there are lots of different mediums that you can use on them. Okay, so we've got our leaves done. If I wanted to come in, that's the wrong lid. If I wanted to come in, there is a deeper green. So I could come back in with the deeper green and just make these leaves look, the poinsettia leaves look a bit, or the ones that are behind the poinsettia, I should say. I can make these look slightly different to the holly ones then. Again, you can move this if you want to. It will add just a little bit of colour because I let it dry. But there, So there is a difference. You might not be able to see it properly, or it might not be very defined for you to see, but I can see it. Okay, so on my berries, I'm going to put a little bit at the bottom and drag that out around to the top bit where that little circle is. You can go back and keep building it up until you're happy with it. Then with the poinsettia, I try to do a bit around the edge. So very similar to how I do the leaves really, and down the centre. And then I'm just going to move the colour around. And I like to do the main petals that have got that centre detail. I like to do those first. And then I'm going to come back in and do the ones behind, and I can make them a much softer pink. I'm not even looking to see if there was any more questions, but like I say, I know Philippa's watching and Joe, and I always read them afterwards, and if there's any questions I need to get back to, I will. Okay, so for me, this is what card making is all about. There's nothing I enjoy more than stamping something and colouring it, but with the foilables, I've got that look, that really lovely, elegant look. So if you're not into heat embossing or you struggle with it, this is a great alternative, because with the laminator, you really can't go wrong. So I'm just putting a little bit of colour where the detail lines are, and then just drawing the colour out or back down the petal. So I'm getting two tones of the petals showing. So I've got the deeper ones for the centre, and then I'm getting that paler colour coming in the petals that are behind. Oh, I love that, Pam. Relaxing just watching me even. I love that. Okay, so just dragging the colour out. Oh, I'm sorry, I've just realised my bracelet is bashing down on my glass mat. It's starting to annoy me. Okay, there we go. So I do clean my brush on my hand, which I shouldn't. Bit of kitchen roll, really. I do like to put the yellow in the middle because I want that to really stand out. And I don't worry if it bleeds out a little bit, because it will just pick up on the red a little bit. And then with the blue, I like to just touch in a little bit of blue. I don't know what these are, berries of some sort. Okay, now if you want to, you can add a bit of blue around the edge of your tag, or you can do some green or some red, whatever you want to. Okay, so Suze, may I ask what pens are best to colour with, please? You can use whatever you have, Sue. So if you have watercolour pens or water-based pens, which is what these are, the clean colour are water-based. There are lots of different makes on the market. Even like just cheap felt tip pens from the supermarket, they will be water-based. So you can use those, and I would foil first and then colour. And if you're going to use alcohol marker, then you need to do the colouring first and then the foil. And yes, Maxine, it is a beautiful bracelet. I wasn't moaning at that. Maxine bought it for my birthday. Look, it's got little diamonds in it, and they're all different colours. All colours of the rainbow. Okay, I'm going to use green this time because I always go with blue. So what I like to do is just put a little bit, so take your time, don't worry if you go over, but a little bit as close as possible to the inside of the lines. And then what I do is I take my brush and I just push the green towards the inside of the tag. Now it's quite pale on here, but it's just giving me a really soft green tinge around the edge of my tag. And with all the other green for the greenery and everything, green looks lovely, the blue looks nice, but the blue was did show up a bit more. So if you want it to be a bit more subtle, then maybe do it in the green. And that's that one, that's that one. So let me find a tag that I put the blue there. So you could do it with blue. It really brings the blue really shows, and then the soft green. So it'd be nice to see something different. Around this, I edged it with the blue, with a blue ink pad, so that it was off because it was laying onto a white card, and that hides if you've got any marks at all where the process of them being cut is laser cut, and that burns the edge of the card. I mean, I can't see it. I don't mind that on there at all. It doesn't offend me or anything. So yeah, okay, right, let's get they're my bits ready. So I've got a piece of vellum, and I'm going to rip a piece so that I can go wrap it around my card. Now I want it to have a bit of a wavy edge. I don't want it to be straight. So I'm just going to tear it, lift it up, and just give it that little bit of a wiggle. So it's not boring, so it's got a little bit of interest to it. So I'm going to put my tag on the panel. I'll probably overhang it actually, just a little bit. And then I'm going to have my wording, and I'm going to try and get my wording around where the vellum is so that it helps you to see it against the embossing. So I can fold this round and make it really nice and firm, and then fold it around the other side. Doesn't matter if it's not straight, no one's going to know. Well, you all know, nobody else knows. Okay, so then I can use some of my glue and just glue that down in place. That a chance. I like the green too, Patsy. And then wrap that round. Okay, so now I'm going to take some foam pads, and I'm going to add this to my card so that it's got some dimension. So I think I've got them cut them up into 6s here. So we will put 6 on. That'll be plenty. It's 300 no, yes it is, it's 300 GSM, so that piece of card is not really going to bend or buckle or anything, and it's only going to have a foilable on the top. I'm not putting lots of weight on it or anything like that. So now this can go down, line up my top and my sides so that I'm happy with those, and then I'm going to get another few foam pads. I'm actually starting to feel bad using foam pads instead of cardboard, you know. How bad is that? When I have a delivery tomorrow, I'll start cutting the cardboard up, I promise. Okay, so I'm going to put my tag. I like to have it overlapping the edge of my panel, just it adds that little bit more interest. And then I need something for my happy. So a foam pad for that, and I like to use my Hunky Dory ones, which are these ones. They're lovely strips. They come in different sizes, and I can put, because I've gone with the skinny one, I think I'll do a couple of little strips. Do you know what? I will be glad when I don't use foam pads though, because my scissors won't get all gunked up, will they? Because my scissors need de-gluing. If anyone's got any top tips for that, I would love to know. Okay, so got my card. Right, okay, what's Sarah saying? Would the card not cost more in postage than... No, because, well, not necessarily, because cardboard isn't heavy particularly. Obviously, it depends what you use. So I need another piece under there. I didn't think about that, did I? Let's have a wider piece. And let's just pop... Because I've got my tag on foam pads... Oh, look, that was clever. I need 2 bits of foam pad at the end. So where the word is overhanging, then it's going to sit nicely now. So I need to take my backing paper off. And a way to do this, so I'll show you how you should do it properly, is line up where you want your word to be. And then you know what's overhanging. And then you know what size extra bit of foam pad you need. And now when we turn this over, I can butt it up. There we go. And I know that that is okay. All right, so all I need on here now, and I forgot to get them out, is some glosses. So I think I'm going to use red ones, and I'm going to have, I didn't use any glosses on the original one, but I'm going to put some glosses on this one. So I'm going to have one there, one there. So I've got a big, medium and medium, and then I will go small. Oh, I found one. Oh no, that's a red one. That's, oh no, it is a glitter one. I thought it was plain. Found one on my mat today, so let's use it. And then I will go medium. So a large and a medium and a small. So slightly different, but then I think it's nicer to see some different ideas, so you get more ideas. So this was using the poinsettia with red foil, wrapping my vellum around and putting my wording on there, so it lifted it off my embossed background. And then I've caught a little bit of my wording, but I love the bit of vellum just wrapped round anyway. But I love that. I just love the sparkly foilables. Okay. Right, now I'm intrigued. Why are you going to be using Vaseline? Okay, let me go back and find out. Oh, stop the place from sticking. Oh, right, okay. Sticky stuff remover is brilliant. Okay. Paraffin. Yeah, I usually use nail polish remover. Slight touch of Vaseline. Right, I just tell you what. In here, I've got my lip salve. I know it's probably not very hygienic, is it? But they're my lips, aren't they? Okay, let's see what happens. That's obviously going to leave... I'll wipe them as well. I don't want them to leave Vaseline all over my... But does that stop the sticky sticking? They are moving better. Okay, so next up, this card. So I have already coloured, you'll be pleased to know, I've actually foiled that piece of holly. So I've got the square and the word into foil. Let's quickly put my laminator on. Move my pens out the way. So I've got some silver foil, and I have, let's do the other embossing. So I have a 6x4 folded card. So these were actually pre-scored, but otherwise it is 21 by 14.8, and it's scored at 10.5. Okay, so again I need to chop my panel down, which I will do first so that I remember. So I'm going to chop it so that I've got embossing up to the edge on all sides. And then I know with what size that I'm working with as well. I'm just trying to think if I can incorporate the embossing. Oh, I'll do that on the next one. I will do 3 cards, and I'll do that on my next card. I will show you how to do the embossing. Okay, so this is quite a bit smaller. I need to cut a bit more. No, that'll be fine. Okay, so while we're waiting for that to heat up, I'm going to take a piece of foil, and I can use the piece that's left, that I had left over, and I'm just going to trim it down because I only need enough to tuck it underneath, around the back. So that will be plenty. Okay, so I've still got a piece of vellum that I can use for other cards. And then I'm going to take my piece of vellum. I'll actually turn my card over so that this is the deboss side now. And I'm going to turn my piece of vellum back and fold the top down. I'm going to snip the corners because I want it to lay nicely, and it's not going to. It's quite thick, this vellum, although it's, I wanted to say it's thin. It's quite thick, but it's thin. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip just over so that when this folds back, this will fold back more neatly. Okay, so now I can put this back in, and I can put some glue down that edge and fold it back over as it was before. Just give that a little chance to dry, just adhere. Then use my nail and just push that down in the corner, and then that piece will fold back beautifully. So turn it over, push it down, let that start to stick. Do the same this side, and then my laminator is ready, which is great. So firm that down, and now I have my vellum wrapped around my panel, which is ready to go onto my card. I've got my silver foil, so I will cut myself a piece of this, and I only need it as big as my square, and then my sentiment should fit on as well. So this is where whoever it was said about big scissors. I think that's a really good idea. Okay, so do put it away neatly. So you don't get any extra creases that you don't want on your foil. Okay, so I can pop that down. I can pop my square on the top, and then my sentiment. Close this up. I'm just going to put it in upside down again. Bring my laminator in. As long as you've got the scored edge that goes in first, that's absolutely fine. What are you like, Donna? I'm doing 3 cards and you will like it. How am I going to do a card in 15 minutes? I'm meant to be finishing at 9. Okay. So fortunately the other one's nearly done anyway, so that's good. Right, again I'm going to switch my foiling machine off because I don't want it to get too hot. Patsy's got me all nervous now. But look, see, look. How fab does that look? And it's just so fine. It comes out, let me get the camera to focus. It comes out so beautifully. It really does. And then, because I've had this already coloured, but it doesn't affect it at all. So whether you colour first and then foil, or foil and then colour, entirely up to you. It doesn't matter. Beautiful, very happy with that. So I don't need that bit of silver anymore, I don't think. Put my bit of paper to one side. So now I have this piece to go on my card. So I'm going to pop that down. Actually, Donna, I think I probably will have time to do the 3. I'm not doing 4, but I will have time to do 3. Because this was so quick. Let's get some more foam pads. On there, and on there, take all the backing off. Oh, at least these ones come off better than the last pack. Okay, so now I'm going to have my vellum on the left, entirely up to you. I am going to place it, get my border, it's slightly bigger at the bottom, but that don't mind that. As long as I get these 3 the same, I'm quite happy. Then I'm going to put my square with my holly in the top right corner, because then I have a piece of holly, which I'm going to find my pokey tool. Oh, I've got this lovely spinny round unit. I'm going to give it a clean this week. So I'm going to curl it and then just bend that up by the berries. So curl it against the pokey tool and then just give it a bit of a lift. And then this is going to come down in the bottom corner. Entirely up to you which way round you want to do it. You could turn it completely. You could put it at the bottom and have the holly at the top. However you want to do it. But for me, I could have it like that. No, I like it at the top. To me, that's how it sits. It sits nicely like that. Okay, so I'm going to pop a foam pad on the back, and I'm going to place this in the centre of my card. And then, now, if you wanted to leave your sentiment like that, you could, but I want to show you different ways. You can obviously add a bit of colour around the edge with an ink pad, but I can also do it with my red pen that I use to colour. And I've done the same with the frame, where I've bled the frame out. So if I do this, just a little bit of colour down the edge, and don't worry if it's wobbly, it doesn't matter. Might be better if I did this on white. Okay, so then I can take my water brush and just push that colour down. So it's taking the colour away from the edge of my die cut. So if you do have them where they've been die cut and they've been cut with a, what's it called, a laser cutter. So if they have got that brown tinge round at all and you don't like it, this is a way of getting rid or masking that colour. And now I'm going to push that colour up till it meets the colour coming down. So you could go around the edge with your ink, a sponge that's got ink pad on it, or I can go round with my pen and know it's going to be exactly the right colour, because this is what I've used around the edge of my frame and what I've coloured my holly berries with as well. So now I have, and you can make it ombre as well, but they really do take the colour really well. So now my sentiment's really going to pop off. Oh, did I put it card all through the red? I can see it all over the ink table, hang on. Okay, so I'm going to pop that down with my foam pads. And another way you can do it is where I'm having the foam pad on the back, if I just put foam pad on this part, then that's going to raise that up and I don't have to worry about the other bit. Or I could put foam pad just on this bit and glue that bit down. So entirely up to you. If you're worried that that's going to get squashed, we can cut a piece, fold it in half so it's double thickness, take our backing paper away, and we can just pop that underneath, and now it's supported. but it's not on straight now. That's better. Okay, so then I've got my holly, and I'm going to pop a little bit of glue just in that centre bit that isn't folded, and I'm going to pop that down on my vellum. Okay, so that is card number 2. Let me show you the original. There we go. So one that is coloured a little bit more softly around the edge. This one has got more colour on, and I feel like I've caught it. I've got to sort this out because it's not, I'm not happy. Okay, let's put it right back there. That's better. Okay, I'm happy now. So you can go much more softly with your pens, or you can colour them totally, and they do colour really well as well. So it is a nice way of hiding that if you don't like it. Okay, so my next one, I'm going to use, I've coloured my beautiful poinsettia. I've got a tag and I've got Happy Christmas. So I'm just going to pop my laminator onto pot and cut a piece of gold foil. And I'm going to do some embossing lines on tie around this one before I get carried away and do something else. Okay, so then we want our tag as well. So I've used just the plain gold on this one. And, oh, it's ready. That was quick. I suppose it's because it's not long been off. Okay, so put my foil down, put my flower down, put my tag down, and put my word down. Pop that in the middle, bring my laminator in, look, the green light is on, ready to go, and we can pop that through. Okay, so I will do this onto, actually I think I'll do it onto a 5x7 because it'll give me a bit more room. So this is an 18x24 that I've scored to make a card that will fit a 5x7 envelope. Get my scoreboard ready. Okay, so it's coming out the other side. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off now, as that's finished with, because I'm only doing 3 cards, Donna. Okay, so I have a tag that is foiled with Christmas wording that you can read. Deck the halls with no place like home, this Christmas time, let it snow, joy to the world, Christmas and a happy new year, Noel, jingle bells. So perfectly easy to read. We've got our lovely poinsettia and leaves. Again, it's foiled beautifully. And it was coloured first, so just looks fab. And then I have my Happy Christmas, which again is foiled beautifully. Really fine and crisp, and oh, just love it. Okay, so we'll leave that in there because I don't need that anymore. So if I want to emboss, and I will emboss the edge of my card. So I'm going to open my card up. So this is like as you would have, so that's the front of my card. So I'm going to open it up and I score from the inside. So I want the mountain, which is the bulbous part of the fold. I want that on uppermost. Oh, I'm going to share that in probably next week, Donna. I'm waiting for something to arrive to make sure that I can share it with you, and I don't want you to be frustrated and not be able to get it once I've shared it with you. So I will share, probably be my throwback Thursday next week. Okay, so I have scored, and I'm sorry if that was Louise and not Donna, sorry. So I have scored 1/2 centimetre in from the edge and 1/2 centimetre in from my score line. And now I'm going to turn my card around and I'm going to do 1/2 centimetre to the score line. And then I'm going to move this over slightly so that I get the edge of my card is on the edge of that line, so I get a nice 1/2 centimetre score at that end. And I do it a couple of times. Then when I turn my card over, I have this lovely embossed line around the edge of my card. So it just gives it a border. Now, what I can do is if I turn over my scoreboard, do exactly the same. So I have the mounting on the inside. I can do a double line. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to line this one up with that one, and then I'm going to come in with the next closest one, and I'm going to do the same on here. So I'm going to line up my embossed line with one of the lines, and then I can come in with the next line. Oh, my card wasn't up, my line's not straight. Then I can turn it around, do the same again, line up with the score line, come back just to the center score of the card, and then line this one up, line this one up and come in. So now I've got a double score line around the edge of my card, which I'm hoping you can see a little bit better. But it's a really lovely way to do something to your card when you've got something that's maybe quite small on a card, or not quite filling it up a lot. So this isn't going to be much on our card, but it's still going to have impact. But by doing those lines, it just adds interest to the card without having to do any more. So I'm going to put my tag down first, and what I'm going to do is, if I can get my spinner to spin, I'm going to pick, oh, I don't think I've got a red ink pad out. Oh, and I won't be able to get to them. Oh, and that's not red, that's pink. I don't think I've got a red sponge. I was going to sponge around the edge. Well, I'll do it pink instead, but it's going to be the wrong colour pink. So I'm just going around the edge. So it's going to take, and I'm going to move my card because my sponges disintegrate and then they leave marks on my card when I brush the little bits away. So it'll still work in because it's pink, so it's fine. I'm just going around the edge. So this is going to take, if you can see that tinge around the edge, this is another way of disguising it. It doesn't bother me, but I know it does some people. I could actually go around the edge of this with the pink as well, so it's going to tie it all in. I do love my sponges and adding ink this way. I find it so easy, and it's by far the best way for me. Okay, so let's put a foam pad on the back of my tag first of all, and I need to have my flower down so I know where to tuck my tag in. I think I'll put that about there, and then I will have a couple of foam pads on my flower. Okay, and then we can overhang this. Perfect. And then I will have, I think I'm going to put my word in, which I quite like the word in. No, I think I'm going to put it up there. Yep, I am. Right, so I just need a piece of the thicker foam, and then I will have a piece of the skinny foam, so I can put it down the length then of the word, and take those off. You can add glitter glue as well if you want to highlight bits of your foilables. If you want to, you could add a nice ribbon to this. You could add twine as well. I'm just going to add a couple of glosses. I think I'm going to use gold this time because we've used the gold foilables. So I'm going to have a big one and 2 mediums, and then I'm going to have a medium and 2 littlies, because I do like to put them on in 2s. I have no idea why, but I do like them in 2s. Well, I think that looks fab, and that's just a bonus one, so really showing you the embossing that you can do just to add a bit of interest. So I did lots of lines down this one, so that added that, just that embossed look with an embossing folder as well. And then on this one I came in about 1 centimetre and just did a line around, and then I cut my embossing down so the embossed edge was outside of the embossing folder bit. And then we've got the very plain little bit of twine on that one, and we have the one that I inked the embossing a little bit with some ink just to make that stand out. We have the one that I did tonight that I wrapped in vellum, and then we have the original one with the paler sentiment, and then we have the tag that I did with the wrapping the vellum round, and also the poinsettia that I did wrapping the vellum round. Okay, let me just switch the camera. Let me move my guillotine so I can sit down. That would be embarrassing, wouldn't it? Sit on my guillotine. Okay. Right. Let's spin us round. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining me. And I don't think I was much over. 2 minutes over 9 o'clock. That's not bad, is it? God, I can't wait to get my hair cut. Oh dear. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that, and please don't forget, join Tracy tomorrow at 7 o'clock. She'll be here and she will be showing how to create those beautiful wallets that you can put gift cards and also money into. So I shall definitely be making some of those. And then Tuesday it's Philippa at 10 o'clock, Wednesday it's Hazel at 7:30, and on Thursday it's 7:30 with Jo Shannon making that beautiful wreath. So thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of the evening, and I will see you again very soon. And don't forget, I will be next week, I will do the how to use up all those bits of foil. Okay, so don't throw any away, keep it, because it'll be completely gone. All right, okay, I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.